Hello, I was having trouble establishing a live there in Brigham City at the courthouse. Um, I tried to log in on StreamYard and it was only wanting to allow me to be a guest, so I couldn't put myself in studio and I couldn't figure out how to get myself in on the YouTube studio. So I decided I'd just hightail it back to Salt Lake and we'll get on with this. So I hope everybody is. Oh, it looks like we're having a little bit of drama here. I want everybody to be civil to each other. So, okay. So we have the sentencing hearing for today for James Brenner. And he came in shackled and wearing a red and white striped um, prison, you know, Johnnies, whatever you want to call them. He had his long hair flowing. His beard is looking really bushy again. He's limping in quite heavily, and so there was some question as to who went first, because the victims might want to alter their statements according to what Brenner would say. So they asked the defense to go first, and the uh, defense attorney Nish said that he had been asked by Brenner not to speak on the matter. Yeah, he was tried to be respectful, he said, but anyway. And Brenner declined to speak, so we heard absolutely nothing from him. So, so we went over to the victims, and Justin went first, and he spoke to he was speaking to Jim and saying the FBI agent said that he showed no remorse at all at the recovery of Dylan's remains. That Dylan helped him, with various crops, sugar beets and potatoes and so forth in Idaho, and how he repaid that was by killing Dylan. And he hopes that Brenner feels some remorse or guilt. And he said that Brenner should turn and look at people in the eye. And Brenner didn't do any such thing. So next, there was a victim advocate who was speaking on behalf of the family, and the statement was largely from Candace. And she described Dylan as a builder, a dreamer, and a visionary, and that sunflowers bloom all over the world because of people thinking of Dylan. So she said that law enforcement failed the family, that Brenner was allowed to dispose of evidence, and they were told, don't upset him, get off of the property, you're upsetting him. And then she said that Dylan was in a box on a shelf, and they're still waiting to have his remains released by the state. And so very unhappy about that. Said that that he hid evidence, but then he'd come back and he would return evidence. So that could explain why some things showed up, long after people had been searching, because he was up to no good. So let's see what else. He showed no compassion or empathy. And then Blair Wardell, the prosecuting attorney, spoke, and he said that they were expecting remorse, and he was completely lacking it in the report, the sentencing report, that he blamed the victim, Dylan, and showed antisocial behavior for the last 4 decades. And that he said that he had lost everything but the land in his checking account. And so that seemed to be his concern, not about what happened to Dylan. So he was also focused on self-preservation. And he spoke about the 3 to 30-year sentencing, that he deserves to be sentenced to most or all of that. And then there was another woman who spoke. I'm not sure who she was. She just talked about the disgusting, horrific lack of remorse, and described Brenner as unredeemable, and that he blamed Dylan for what happened. And so then she asked that Brenner be directed by the judge to turn and face the gallery, and face all of the victims and those who cared about Dylan, who were present. And the Nish said that again said that he had been asked not to go into details. Maynard did ask. He spoke to the family, and he did ask Brenner to face the family, and Brenner declined. And Judge Maynard again spoke to Brenner and asked him again, to look at the gallery, but he again didn't want to do that. And regarding the sentencing, he says there's, his hands are tied. There's nothing more that he can do. That he was sentencing him to the 1 to 15 for the weapons, and 1 to 15 for the murder, to be served consecutively, and recommended that the parole board keep him as long as possible. So, the judge is kind of tied by the sentencing guidelines set forth in the state. So, sadly, he probably won't see half the time. Fly high, Dylan, your legacy will live on. Yes, Gaelic girl. Yeah, it was just really sad. And let me take a look. There was East Idaho News was there, but not with Nate Eaton. He was busy doing something in Boise with the Idaho Supreme Court. It looked to me like it was the KTVX, the Channel 4 affiliate, was doing the camera for the feed. So, and they'll be uploading that later when they get back, presumably to the studio. And they were setting up for a press conference, it looked like, with Candace when I left. So I didn't see them in the courtroom. I didn't see anybody look very young. But when I was coming out, I did see some younger looking people, and so I wondered whether they just didn't go into the court itself. I'm not sure if that was them or not. So, um, yeah. B, the remains presently are in the custody of the state, and I expect that they will be released now that the case is over. And there was talk about um, funeral stuff because as a victim, restitution, that Brenner is required to pay for stuff like that. Not that he will have any money to do it, but if for some reason he were to become a jailhouse millionaire or something, then he would. So let's see. So I expect the remains will be released now that the case is over. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I was looking to see if there was any sign of. It looks to me like there is nothing else which is up so far. I do plan on coming back after um, the hearing is uploaded so that we can stream that. So that'll be probably a couple of hours maybe. So hello, Cats Gallery. Um, so for I can't take pictures in the court. It's strictly forbidden to take pictures in the court unless you are credentialed media, and I haven't gotten around to getting that. I need to look at my messages. He got 2 to 30 years. He probably have to finish up serving the federal sentence first, and I think that's about 10 years. And oh, okay, sorry. 10 years for the federal charges, and then he will serve the 2 state charges consecutively. So, yeah, Brenner doesn't care. I'm hoping that we will learn some more from Candace. Maybe some details at the press conference after the hearing, or more likely a longer interview with Nate Eaton. So, yeah, he's not likely to be getting out. I mean, if you look at it, he's what? Let's take a quick look. See what his birthday is, because I forget his exact age. Okay, so he is born December 63, so he is 61 going on 62. Let's say he's got 10 years for the federal charges. That makes 72 years. Candace had the victim advocates speak for her, and Justin gave a victim impact statement. So, let's see. There was so we can expect Brenner to be done with the federal charges when he's around 70 years old, and then he would start on the two state charges, which are to be served consecutively. So that would be, taking him into the 80s. And I suspect that, let's see, Justin, he didn't say a lot. Justin said that, that he helped, that Dylan helped Brenner with crops up in Idaho, with potatoes and with sugar beets, and how he repaid Dylan was by killing him, and that he wished that he could see some remorse, so that he could see something to make him, make it easier to forgive him, but he didn't see anything. So let's see, what else did he spoke about the FBI agent saying that when went to recover the body, that he showed no remorse whatsoever. So that he hopes that Brenner will come to feel remorse or guilt. That he wanted Brenner to look people in the eye, and he wouldn't. So, yeah, they're kind of under. They can't get too. They can't really speak as freely as they would like to. So, yes, Brenner feels sorry for himself. So, that was one thing that was mentioned, that he was, self-serving, protecting. So, anyway, I plan to come back on live, so maybe in the next 2 hours we will have that uploaded and we can stream that. So turn on notifications. Yes, he was a coward to the end. And we can talk, and I wasn't able to write as fast as I would like, and so we'll see what strikes me the second time around. That is described as unredeemable, etc. So, I'm doing pretty good, but okay. Well, thank you all for joining me. The current facility or any other. I'm sure that now that the state charges are resolved, that Brenner is likely to be going to, I'm not sure, they didn't specify if he'd be going to a federal prison. I think probably he'll go to a federal prison first, and then he will, when he's done serving the federal time, that he will be brought back to serve his time for the state charges. So you're welcome, Linda. So okay, well, yes, Samantha, you need to get some sleep. You need to take care. So set notifications, and in a couple of hours after we get the stream up from KUTV, I will bring you the hearing. So until then, take care. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Thank you, Miskin.